Hello and welcome back. So again, we are doing the same thing. We're trying to solve a quadratic equation and we have an actual example for that, okay? So we're solving a quadratic equation by using the quadratic formula, okay? There is another way of actually trying to solve the quadratic equation, but by using the quadratic formula, it is the most general way of trying to solve any quadratic equation, okay? So that is why I prefer to use this method. But it's not the only method that you can use to find out the solution of quadratic equations, okay? But in this case, we're trying to find the solution using the quadratic formula, okay? Of the quadratic equation. Again, they're not the same thing. This the equation that you see on the screen, that is a quadratic equation. But at the same time, this is the quadratic formula is the formula that you use to find the values of x, to find the solution of this equation, okay? So enough talk, let's actually start solving the equation, okay? So first of all, again, we need to have this equation in its standard form. The reason for that is so that it's easy for us to say that this is A, this is B, and this is C for when we want to put it in the quadratic formula, okay? Again, okay, so we have a simple note over here. Oh yeah, and in this specific equation, the b is going to be equal to 0. Again, why? The b is the it's the coefficient of the variable x, and in the equation, can you actually try to find any x in this equation? You're probably not going to find any x because it's 2x squared. Okay, so the coefficient of x squared is 2 in this case. So we can say that C is always a constant, right? So we have two constants over here. I can see a 7 and a negative 3. So C's are present and the coefficient of x squared is present, but the coefficient of x is not present in this case. But again, we don't actually have to know this. First of all, we just have to convert. You have to put all of the numbers onto the left hand side. So let's actually do that. So we need to put that negative 3 on to the left hand side. Okay, and then we combine it. Okay, so first of all, to get rid of the negative 3 on the right hand side, we add the negative 3, and we add it on both sides. On the right hand side, the negative 3 and the positive 3 just equal 0. Negative 3 add to 3 is 0. So on the left hand side, the 3 is going to add with 7. 2x squared just comes down. Okay, so 3 added to 7 just gives us 10. So 2x squared plus 10 is equal to 0. Let's have that everything cleared. Okay, so this is what we're left with. And this is in fact going to be enough for our purposes. Okay, so this is going to be A, and this is going to be C. Again, why am I not calling 10 A like B? Why am I not calling 10 B? Because the B is going to be the coefficient of x. In this case, the C is going to be the coefficient of x raised to the power 0, or you can just say it's the constants. So C is going to be the constant. So we put the A's and the C's into the quadratic formula. Okay, we do that, and B is again B is 0. So we have wherever we see a B, we put the 0. Wherever we see the A, we put the 2, and whenever we see the 10, we just put the 10. So let's actually solve the denominator first. So 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Okay, we actually solve the discriminant first. So again, I usually the way I do it is by solving the denominator first. Okay, so 2 times 2 is equal to 4. That's easy. It's always like two numbers multiplying to each other. So again, so in this case, we're just we can do that, but again, we're solving discriminant first in this case. Okay, so no hard and fast rule. You can do it any way you want. You just have to simplify the entire equation. So 0 squared, negative 4 times 2 times 10. So 0 squared again is 0, and 2 times 10 is equal to 20. So negative 4 times 20, that is equal to negative 80. Okay, so again, we have a problem over here. We know that the square root of 4 is 2, right? But what is the square root of negative 4? Again, this cannot be solved. Whenever we have a negative number inside of a square root, we can't actually solve that because no one actually knows the answer to that. And I actually have explained this in a previous lecture. You can always check that out. And you can actually just ask Google. That is actually a much faster way to find out why we can't actually find the values of some stuff and that some stuff includes the square root of negative numbers. Okay, so in this case, we are going to say that this equation, the equation that we started with, is going to have no solution. And again, the discriminant in this case is less than 0. Okay, it has a value which is less than 0, and I previously explained that y. Actually, didn't explain why, but I told you that when the discriminant is going to be 0, there is going to be no solution, and I actually explained why, because like we can't solve it any further because we don't know the value of square root of negative 80. So that is the why. And yeah, so this is the case when we can't actually solve this. We can't solve the equation, and we can't find the solution because there is no solution in this case. Okay, so that is all there is for this video. Thank you for watching, and I really hope you learned something.